Samir, can you please mute yourself?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, everybody.
Good afternoon, sir. Hey, good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, guys. Is everything clear? Yep. Okay. So we will wait for a couple of minutes and then we will start. Absolutely. I just want to make sure that there is no technical glitch at my end. So it's not right. So yeah, no issues. Narain sir, is Atanu sir also joining them?
Not sure. I didn't check with you. Do you know if you write to him or?
So you guys are still, I'm assuming, not in campus, right? Yeah, sir. So a few of them are, like approx 4 to 5. The rest are still working from home. Okay.
Sure, it's 5. I think we could start.
Sure. So, good evening, you all. I, Shubham Rawat, on behalf of IIT Club and SME-Connect, would like to welcome you all to the day 2 of the Analytics Conclave of SME IIT Jodhpur. First of all, I would like to thank our club and committee coordinators, Mayank sir and Preeti ma'am, and also Abhishek sir for accepting our invitation to moderate the session. Lastly, I would like to thank Pradeep sir for accepting our invitation for the event. Today, we have Pradeep Jayaraman, the head of analytics at Adani Ports and SEZ Limited. He oversees the analytics and technology initiative across the ports, logistics, dredging, and SEZ business units. He brings with him around 18 years of experience in the areas of analytics, digital marketing, business development, sales, and consulting. He has worked across financial services, retail, CPG, entertainment, and logistic industries covering Americas, Europe, and Asia. Prior to Adani Group, he has held various leadership positions across Fractal Analysis, Cognizant, and Dell, to name a few. Now, I would like to invite Abhishek Narain sir to say a few words. Over to you, sir.
Hello, Mr. Pradeep Jayaraman sir. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation and addressing our students and talking on a very relevant topic, which probably everybody is talking these days, and not just these days, they are talking about it from probably the last decade or so, and it has become more relevant in last few years. So on behalf of the School of Management and Entrepreneurship, IIT Jodhpur, I really welcome you, and we are looking forward to this session. Some of the things that I would like you to touch upon, how this business analytics as a domain, as a discipline, is picking up relevant day by day, as we are seeing that more of the digitization is happening across industries, and good or bad, we can say about the pandemic, which has fueled this kind of growth and the digitization across industries, and we are witnessing it. We are the part of it on a daily basis. So, what kind of new roles that you see that is coming up in the recent times with this batch? Let's say when they are going to get graduated by 2022, what they will be seeing, and what kind of roles they can expect across industries. And since you have a very rich experience across different industries, you can probably throw some light on this. That let's say somebody is trying to build a career in financial services sector, or somebody is going towards the marketing as a domain, and let's say digital marketing or B2B marketing or whatever, marketing as an umbrella. What are different kinds of opportunities or the roles that they can expect, which business analytics can help them in, and the growth trajectory into that direction? So you can touch upon those points a bit. And with this, I would like you to kindly start your session. Thank you very much.
Sure. Thanks, Mr. It's always a pleasure to interact with bright young minds, right? So that's why when Shubham was asking me, and I just happened to also come back home when I was traveling. So one of the things is the pandemic, when people start working from home, it is people like us in ports and logistics that we have to work double to make sure that your things reach at your doorstep, right? So instead of being a monologue, I prepared a few slides, right? So I'll share and I will bring you through some of the journey. And when I started the career in analytics way back in 2003, were few hundred people in the country at that time, and nobody knew what analytics was, right? So I couldn't explain what my job was. When I was part of GE Capital, GE was the first one to start this in India.
They started in 2001 with 10, 15 people, and by the time I joined, it was like 200 or 150, 180 or so in the country, right? So I was part of the capital division, and I used to try to tell them and then say that, no, I'm in strategy, right? No, you get the credit cards, right? I'm behind it, and then they'll start saying that, are you a call center or whatever it is, right? From there, now the world has significantly changed. Because what I also realize is, throughout this journey, I was fortunate to touch upon various industries, worked in financial services, retail, done some internet marketing, and done digital for brands like Coke, Estee Lauder, Ralph Lauren, and even Warner Brothers. I've been to the studios to do movie marketing, right? But what I also realize is now I'm fortunate enough to be in an industry which is non-glamorous. Whenever there is any analytics event, when people talk to the students, a lot of things are talking traditionally about Amazon's, Google's, e-commerce, retail, CPG, fancy stuff, right? Not many people talk about the non-glamorous stuff, which is B2B, industrial, and things behind, where there is significant opportunity and really some kick-ass, or sorry to use that word, kind of an opportunity that lies. If Amazon is what Amazon today is, a fantastic app that they have, but the supply chain that they manage in the back end, right? Apple is what it is today, is because of the product and the design, but it is because of the supply chain they manage behind it, right? So those are the things, right? So I deliberately chose to throw some light on some of the areas which we think is going to be like super big in the next few years, or it is already big, and how analytics and technology plays a critical role in terms of the whole thing, right? With that, let me see if I can share my screen. So I also had an option to make it a little algorithm heavy, but you guys are all MBAs, right? Just let me know if one of you, if you're able to see.
It's clear, sir.
Fantastic. So let me just go ahead with this. Focus more on the business side of it, and then take it from there, right? The topic given is how digital transformation is changing the business landscape, and how analytics plays a role in it. It's fairly deep and big. You can talk for hours. So I'm just narrowing it down to few, and then maybe I'll try some of these the roles and other stuff that we talk about in this space, right? First of all, what is digital transformation? Even in our organization, there is a lot of confusion and what do we digitize the company? Do we digitalize the company? Do we do digital transformation of the company, right? So just to set the context, right, there is a lot of confusion, especially in the Asia Pacific, Indian geography, and few other places too, right? What is really a digital transformation? And do we digital transformation happen overnight, right? So no, it is like defining 3 clear steps, right? It needs to be first starting with digitization, right? If you are still doing physical, there's an example of if I'm writing documents, can I make it online, data exchange, or digitize where I can fetch the information digitally, right? Then I have the data ready, can I do basic look at data and do few things, that is, we're talking about your traditional BIs and basic analysis, exploratory analysis, and so on and so forth, right? And then comes the real digital transformation, where I'm really looking at a new product, new service, new way of doing things, an extremely completely different, a different business model, a pricing model, or something is that I'm offering, right? So that's the ultimate stage, which is completely driven by your data platform and your analytics, right? Your business models. I'll give you some examples, right? So I just wanted to set the context on the moment you talk about digital transformation, it is the intelligence, it is a new business model, it's a new way of doing things is what we are looking at, right? And that cannot be done without number crunching, without giving multiple options, scenario creations, optimization, etc. Right? This is something, because when I go to campus and hire people, right, how the organization also goes through, which whenever you are going to be an organization, join an organization, you should know which scale of it or which step of this your organization is currently in, right? So depending on that is the kind of work that we do. I go to some campus and then I hire people, some of it in very niche players in terms of statistics, etc. The moment they start talking about, we can build this model, we can do this stuff, we can do this optimization. Some of it, first one is that it is physically not feasible. As an example, if I want to do some optimization in one of my warehouse, will the layout even allow me to do? How are my systems? If I have grown over a period of time, some machines are manual, some are semi-automatic, some are automatic, right? How do I kind of implement the digitalization? So it is going to be fairly difficult, right? So you need to understand what you are to do certain things, which is one. And number two is your ability to do few things is also limited by where you are in terms of these steps. So let me take some of the examples like digital player, digital transformer, digital distributor. I have a slide later, but I can just still tell you, right? If I take an airline as an example, right? An airline can give me an option to seamlessly go online, book, cancel, transfer, do whatever it is. It is making my life very, very, very easy, right? So that is example, he is a digital player, he has adapted digital, right? But imagine, this guy comes like Make My Trip, who kind of goes to 10, 20 different airlines and then starts throwing your prices. And then the customer does not come to you anymore, right? And the pressure is actually not on the digitalization, your ability to dynamically price or offer the right price, right service at the right cost, right? So digital transformer kind of a stuff is what you are looking at from that aspect, right? So let's take this example of the hotels, right? Similar stuff, they could do better with Make My Trip. They did the dynamic pricing and they made digital channels, mobile, web, you name it, social media, they covered everything. And then there comes Airbnb, which kind of came out with a very, very different business model altogether, right? So it is always important to understand where you are, how the market dynamics are. So how is this even possible? How do I go from a digital player to a digital transformer to a digital disruptor? Is your ability to understand the data, your data, competition data, market data, and see if your existing business model is good enough or you need to change your business model, right? So it's completely driven by how you look at the whole ecosystems and the data and the way you do business, right? So that's the entire, if you look at Ola, Ubers, Airbnbs, everything is today is driven by algorithms, right? So quick, setting context, right? So so why analytics is important? So what I just said, is kind of summarized here, right? So there is a competition pressure, there is an innovation, disruptive innovation that is happening. The customer is expecting few things, business is expecting few things, right? The only way that we can deliver all of it is to make sure that I get information from multiple sources. So as an example, let's talk about one, right? If you see Reliance has created Geo platform, right? What does it do? I'll get my telecom customers. I'll get my WhatsApp integrated through which you can do order, payment, whatever it is. I'll integrate Reliance retail products. So it is one place where I'm giving a full solution to something, right? I don't know if you guys have read enough about the super app which Tata is thinking about, right? So they are saying that, I will bring customers to one place, one integrated platform where I will provide all the services that is needed. Tata is almost into everything, right, from retail to B2B, and they are investing in big basket and so on and so forth. Can I, once the customer comes in, do I kind of even know who this person is, what relationship I have in other businesses, and in other places where I serve this customer, and how do I create an integrated view and make sure that the customers are retained? So analytics drives the whole transformation landscape. Right? There's a quick example here. So if that's what I talked about, Uber changed the business models. All it does is there is a demand and there is a supply, and dynamically kind of interchange, and it runs a pricing algorithm, etc. Right? Same case with Airbnbs and WeChats. It's very interesting, right? So we did an analysis. I'll give you an example of Tata Group itself, right? Tata Group is about 100-odd billion in all the group companies put together. 100-odd billion in revenue. Their market capitalization is again about 170, 180 billion or something like that, right? If I am right. Two companies drive 80 to 85% of their market cap. One is TCS, which is a digital company. The second thing is Titan, which is a consumer company. So TCS has about 20-odd billion company, has 140-odd billion market capitalization, and then Titan, which is a 1-point-something or close to $2 billion company, has about $20 billion valuation. The rest of the companies, extremely Tata Steel, Tata Motors, they have physical assets, lands, machinery, inventory, line, and all combined put together to their market value is much smaller, right? So that data drives the valuation in the new age. You can take any organization that has larger market capitalization, where the market values you, and that is purely dependent on the data and how people use the data. I may go to the next one. I'm just going to skip through. Almost all the industries are now kind of impacted by digital transformation, right? So let's take a few sectors, right? So this is something which I just put a small one slide. Renewable is super big, right? Everybody, when we are into renewables and we talk about it, what people today say or want, everybody wants to be a carbon neutral company. They want to contribute to the environment. When we start hiring people, there are youngsters who are passionate about doing something for the earth, and then they say that I want to be in the renewable space, right? So there is demand from a lot of large organizations which consume heavy amount of power to buy those from renewable sources, right? And there is also a lot of changes in government policies when you sell it to the discoms, distribution companies, or to the exchange. There is priority given if the generation is through renewable source, right? With that in mind, right? So what is important is there is going to be a huge increase in the renewable generation, solar, wind, etc. Right? In India, especially, going to be a lot of solar. What does that mean, right? So we as an Adani today is about 3.5 gigawatts of power or so, and we would like to be a stated goal is we would reach about 25 gigawatts of solar energy by 2025 in the next 5 years. Imagine similarly around the world this change is happening, and 1 megawatt of power requires about 4 to 5 acres of land where you need to have your solar panels spread. So imagine we ourselves are looking at hundreds and thousands of kilometers of solar panels spread around the country, etc. And there are multiple solar companies and other things in the world, right? How do you even monitor? First, the projects are gigantic. Billions and billions of dollars are going to be spent. So your ability to construct